Carmen Castellucci kicks the door down.
One-handed from Castellucci. Castellucci, the lioness who plays for Spain. 6'1", former basketball athlete.
Well, it was thanks to my dad, actually. He's half French, half Italian, so obviously rugby is quite much bigger in France. So he started to play when he was a kid. And he kept going until he was playing with the veterans in Spain. So I quite had it like since I was born, really. When I was a kid, I used to go with my family, watch him play and everything. And then when I was 8, I started at the same club, the Veterans Club of my city. And yeah, I kept going for like a year and a half, something like that. But I didn't really have a very good experience, actually. I was the only girl in the team, and my coach was kind of like old school. So he didn't think that rugby was for girls, and he kind of made sure that I knew that. So I kind of had like a hard time there, and that's when I started playing basketball. That kept going for like 7 years, I think. So yeah, it was when I was like 14 that I went this veterans club for my dad. They have like touch training every Thursday. So I was quite bored that summer. I didn't have nothing to do, so I told my father like 7 years after, like, hey, why don't I join you for this like touch training? And I went there, and the coach of the women's team for the university was there as well. He's Australian. He had been coaching the women's team there, and he just asked my father like, why doesn't she just come with us like for a training and see how it goes? And obviously it was like the senior team, and I was 14, so I went there. I loved it. I loved like the girls, the atmosphere, and it was so much fun, and I just loved it. So I kept going. I just joined the team, but obviously I couldn't play because I was 14 and I wasn't at uni. So I just did, like, I kept playing basketball that year and the year after, and I was just training like 3 times a week with the team. And then the year after, I joined the under-16s of the university team. It's just like a club, but it's boys. You don't really get that many girls in Spain to make a team, so you just play with boys until you're like 17. So I played there that year. I had the same coach that I had when I was 8, and I didn't like it at all. Again, it was like the same old. We were 2 girls, actually 3 at the time. And I was playing basketball and rugby, so it was being like quite a lot. And it got to a point that I just didn't enjoy going there. I was to a point where I was like, I'm going to quit rugby if I don't leave. And I had the opportunity to go to Madrid to play in another club when I was like just turned 16. And played there with the under-16 boys. I was 17 at that time. Loved it. It was completely different. We were like 6 girls in the team, and the coaches and everything, it was just like completely different. So I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, the following year, it was my first year with the senior team, first year playing with women. And it was like the first league in Spain. And yeah, I just loved it. It was the first year that I got involved with Spain. Sevens it started, and then it went on to 15s. And yeah, that was the large beginning. Well, it was actually that summer that I decided to go to Madrid. I got like an offer to play for a big club in Valencia basketball. So it was like a very tough decision, because actually like my dream was, since I was a kid, to play basketball for a high level. But I didn't really think I had it, like, to play high level. Like, there is a lot of basketball players in Spain, like the level is very good, very high. And for my position, I was small. So I would have to like turn into another position. And I kind of wanted to be like a professional athlete, or like take it to the next step, and I thought that I would reach that playing rugby and not really playing basketball. I just finished college. I was 18, and we were about to try and qualify for the World Cup, so I thought that would be like a good idea to take like a gap year and go into France, like get much better rugby, get stronger and then qualify and go to the World Cup. So I think that was like the point where I thought that I really wanted to make it like the next step. Then obviously we didn't qualify, so I just still went to France and loved it and stayed there for 2 years. I think that the hardest part of what my journey would be like leaving my home, like my family out when I was 16 and just try to follow that dream and like move so much and move countries and learn languages. I think that was probably the hardest part that you just don't recognize. Well, it was with Fordy actually. He dropped me a message like a few years ago when he was still in Exeter. I think I was just about to go to France or something like that, so I was very young. And honestly, I thought of the English league like something I would potentially achieve when I was like 27. Like, it was another level. I wanted to achieve like everything before and be like the best player I could be before coming here, because I didn't think I was ready. And then just the years passed and Bimba came here and Fordy was in Gloucester as well, and that's when he messaged me again and I was, yeah. Honestly, like when I came here, my thought was like, you're not going to play 1 minute, you're just going to learn as much as you can, enjoy as much as you can and just like try to learn. And I wasn't expecting like to play any minute in the whole season. Like, there's amazing players that were already there. Honestly, like when I arrived and still to this day, like I look around and you just see world-class players that I used to watch on the TV. So it's still to this day like a shock to me, like to be able to train with them and learn from them, and actually like you're close to them and they're just like normal people that you don't really think of when you are like from outside. So I think it's like a very good place to learn rugby, and it's also like a very professional environment that you're not normally used to when you come from outside England. So I think that is very positive. I had never been like really injured in my life, so it was very tough to actually like just be in the rehab gym and watch them like go out and train every day. So yeah, that is something really hard, and I think of all the rehabbers right now, what they're going through. Well, it was against Harlequins in the big game in Twickenham, defending them all. I pretty much like got bended. So yeah, it really hurt my low back, and it was like getting well and then not, and it carried on for like 5 months. So it was like a really tough and painful injury. Yeah, it's just about getting better every day and taking the opportunity to, when you get back, actually like enjoy it, because you have had like such a tough time. So I think that is the most important. Well, I'm currently coaching the program Champions of Tomorrow, so we basically target young girls in high school. They have the opportunity to get like Gloucester coaches to deliver sessions at high school. Like, that is amazing. We would only play football and basketball in Spain, so I think that is a massive opportunity, and for me it makes me realise like how much growth you can make and how much impact by just like going to high schools and seeing these girls, and then they watch Gloucester Hartpury games, and I think that is a massive way to actually grow the sport and get to know like these little girls actually have like role models and they believe that they can be rugby players. So I think that is amazing. I remember one camp in Hartpury that I asked them what was their favourite rugby player, and they all said female rugby players, and that I almost started to cry. Like, it was amazing. And it's just about that, about making an impact and just being there close to them. Like, we're not far from anyone. We've grown like they are, and we started playing at their age, some of them. So it's just great. Yeah. Honestly, I don't get used to it. Every time I get there, and they are so happy to be there, and they love rugby and they love the sport, and they get to share it with their friends. I just feel like so emotional. Like, every time I see that, they don't realise how lucky they are. Last year we lost to Ireland in the final, very close game. But this year we had this massive pressure on us that it was qualifying for a World Cup. Currently there's only 3 girls in the team that have been to a World Cup, so that means that we are very young and we obviously didn't qualify for last one. So it was massive pressure, but honestly, it's just like the luck that you have to actually be able to be there and compete for that. So yeah, I think we worked really hard for that, the whole team and the staff. We played a very tough game against Fiji, and everything went well. So I would say bigger than my country are my teammates, probably, and the people that I am representing. I always, in every tour we have, I think of my old teammates that didn't qualify for New Zealand. We have a massive change of generation, so a lot of people retired then. And honestly, that's what drives me the most, is just to think of them and think of the dream that we couldn't achieve, and that they worked so hard for 3 years, and I only stepped in the last year of the cycle. So just think of them and hopefully make them proud and show them that actually, like the young ones, we are working and we're working for the shirt. That is bigger than anything else. Yeah, I mean, it's like personal. It just was so rough last year that I just wanted to make it for myself and try to enjoy rugby when I couldn't last year. So hopefully I get the opportunity to make it this year, and obviously like it's short, and then prepare for the World Cup. But before that, we have a league that hopefully we can win.